the entrance to Halnir's cave, where many of the lower levels.
Rake, your hot pockets are ready.
Oh my gosh! Not again, Mom! This is so serious right now. You have to stop this. Ballinor, we can edit that part out, right?
No, I'm sorry. It's live.
Fuck it! I'm doing it live. Welcome to Pantheon. I'm your host Rake, and with me today is Eddie G and Lynx. How you guys doing today?
I'm fine as frog hair split three ways, my friend Rake.
Today we got a great show for you. We're going to be talking a little bit about Halnir's Cave, one of the primary first introductory dungeons for everybody to be going into. And we got our resident expert, Lynx, here to tell us all about some of the factions, some of the loot, some of the cool things that can be found here.
All right. This is footage actually taken from our server on Vale of Azirius.
Here we are going down the entrance. We haven't zoned in yet. Takes a moment. Typically when you zone in, there's a couple mobs here. They're not up for today. Just rest assured there will be. We're going to creep down this hall over here. Oh, here's a couple of the local occupants. Nice guys.
What are they called, those
Ratkin.
creatures? Ratkin? Okay.
Yeah, there's a variety of Ratkins. There's casters, there's melee. Great models too. One of my favorites. They kind of match the local decor with all these crazy crystals. They're also known as the Drawn. People speculate they're being called that because they're drawn to the energies within this place. Up here, just on your right, hard to see where that pillar is, there can also be a spawned bag. I believe it's 14 slots. Limited time. It spawns every few hours. Good to check all your servers. Around that corner on the right is a name called Hisser. That gentleman that we just passed is probably camping him. Up here on the right, again up that staircase would be a bunch of spiders and a named spider called Herathina. This is a typical camp for what people refer to as the Black Rose Camp. Here are the occupants here. It's one of the factions. On the right here, above that structure would be a chance at a ring that has strength and parry. Everybody likes to get that for free. Hard right here is referred to as the ghost room or map room. Up there in the far right corner is actually a secret room with a key that spawns on a table. No one really knows what it's for, but maybe you can find out. The map doesn't seem to match anything in-game that we know of. People have done some research, people made speculations, but no concrete answers. We seem to be going back down the hall, further into the Black Rose area. Here's some more of their miners.
And comment below if you think you know what that key might be for.
There's several keys throughout this dungeon. Some of them do open certain doors, but a lot of these doors lead to nothing yet.
And also, there's a lot of these crystals around for resources. What are those crystals? I think Slitherol, right? Is that there? Or Glimwort? Not sure.
Yeah, lots of good resources around there.
I'm not sure if these crystals are Slitherol, but it might be the primary crystal that grows there. You can't mine these ones in particular, but the Slitherol looks very much like them, the same green glowing essence. If you see briefly on the monsters themselves, they even have them part of their body, like they're becoming consumed by this energy or these crystals or these powers.
Yeah, it's some kind of infection or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love this dungeon because the clarity of the grab of the zone, it's like it just really defined and really crisp once you enter the zone, and it's got a lot of different. It's very hard to explore this dungeon.
Down here is actually another named. It's known as the Necromancer. He hangs out in the very corner, way back there. There could be a name that can spawn in here called the Hulk. He's just a glorified ratkin.
But he's new, right?
He's the most recent addition. It was like a slight update a few months ago.
Okay.
That they added a couple more new names on top of the ones that were already here. And they altered some of the timers of the spawns and the frequency of their spawns and the rarity in general. Up here, again, another hidden room. Nobody knows why. It's there.
Lots of these things all over the place.
There's hidden floors, false
Isn't
walls.
there a vendor? Is there a vendor in this dungeon?
Right above, right now actually. You see that staircase?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to scale that staircase and go back up to the top and cross the bridge, there's a vendor on top of another area to your left. Maybe we'll see it for. Well, we might even see a glimpse of it for the moment here when we get back to the bridge scene.
Yeah.
And at the end of that person's hall, if you adventure further down and climb another wall up into a hidden sort of like a, I'm not sure what you would call it really, not really a balcony, but there's a hidden area. If you climb up the wall, there could be another spawn for a ranged item called the toenail.
And there is a lot of like unique features. This is the first dungeon where you get extra experience, right? From playing within a dungeon, right? There's a bonus.
That's correct.
Yeah. There's some kind of zone experience modifier here that seems to be getting a lot more XP per kill. And over a 10-minute period, you get a ton more experience inside of Halnir than you would outside killing bears by yourself. So really, everybody who wants to get XP, get some levels, Halnir's the place to be, from anywhere from like levels 10 to 40, really. I mean, this is a long spanning dungeon. It's not just something that's meant for the start or really even towards the end game. And this is viable at level 39 to level yourself to 40 when you're going all the way down to the bottom, fighting these unmortals, fighting these extremely difficult mobs, the crypt fiends that all have all kinds of AoEs and different types of attacks. And I know that many of the crypt fiends are different. And Lynx, remember some of the kinds of them and some of the attacks that they do, or what people need to avoid?
You got frost ones that use AoE 5-second stuns. They have single target ice damage. You have the fire-based ones that have a front cone that you breathe fire and it burns anybody that's in that vicinity.
Yep.
They have single target AoE dots. I believe there's a poison one who has a really nasty AoE poison dot that needs to be taken care of ASAP, or bubbled or healed or cured, whatever you can do.
Yep.
There's also a named.
Yes, a Noctular, who is a real toughie to kill. Even if you have your levels. He is, what's his deal? He can basically be a combination of all the types of...
Yeah, he's all the colors of the different Power Rangers. He can do it all.
Oh, there's a magic form too. There's one that uses just strictly magic arcane damage.
Yeah. And every time you cast a spell that is the corresponding spell to that element for that crypt fiend, it's going to power him up. And you'll see a little charge on his affix at the bottom there, stacking 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if it's a fire one and you just spend an endless amount of time fire nuking him, every stack that he gets is just going to make him more and more powerful. So be very wary on what spells and abilities you're using on these. And I know, I correct me if I'm wrong, since both of you guys are rogues, I believe one of the rogue dots actually does fire damage. Is that right?
It's not a dot. It's applied to our weapons right now. It's called a searing poison. It procs fire damage, but we also have poison abilities, and we don't really want to apply that to them. If it's a poison-based, it'll stack up. It's like a bolstering effect.
Yeah.
They don't become immune to it. They don't take less damage, but it increases the damage they deal out. And you don't want that on the poison ones. Oof.
Yeah, you got to be real careful. And we've always found that the frost ones, the blue ones, those are always the most deadly, man, because they have that group stun that lasts 5-6 seconds and just starts destroying people.
And they have a bleed too, don't they?
They also have an ability to knock one target up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very problematic sometimes. I've seen entire groups just accidentally pull a small one and wipe to it in seconds. And I think, Lynx, you might have touched on this already, but the purple ones, the magic ones, can mesmerize.
Yep, they're basically enchanters.
Particularly threatening to even the best equipped parties.
And Halnir's Cave also features a dragon. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have Gale. How do you pronounce his name? Gale Varden. Gale Varden, yeah. The only problem with the dragon is his head's stuck in a wall.
Well, his body's stuck in a wall.
In the wall. The head is
outside of the wall.
Yes.
And, we got a lot of different things that we think that this might be. I know in the game lore, there is this whole thing where the dragons saved the occupants of Terminus during the Great War of a previous age. But now we don't have the protection of these dragons. And this seems to be a remnant of that. And I don't know if it's true. I don't know what really the officialized lore of it is, but this dragon that they've got in the basement of Halnir's seems like it's being like drained or sapped or something. And we don't have any idea like what the purpose of this dragon is down there, but somehow the draw on these rats are holding it down there or drawing power from it, or who knows really exactly what it is, or what relationship it has to these toxic crystals that are found all through the dungeon.
See these drawn here? This is a different faction. These ones currently are passive. They're not to be confused with the bad guys in that cave.
Now, where are these, Lynx?
These are just outside an AVP. If you were to be leaving Demeth, walking out the back entrance towards, let's say, the Orc Valley, or to the left from where they are now would be the Mad Run area. You just follow the wall. Be careful. There is a dark agent. He doesn't like a lot of the races or classes. We haven't really figured out which one it is, but he's a dangerous folk. Watch out. He's down here to your right. But if you stick to the mountain on your left, you can get to this camp right now. You can't interact with them. You can't attack them. You can't trade anything with them. And I think if you interact with them just by clicking on them, you'll unlock a faction. But that's about it so far.
Interesting.
And you were telling me that Halnir's was known as a different. A couple seasons ago, maybe many seasons ago, it was known as what? Nox or Nox?
Oh no. That was the environmental effects. You know, like when you go to hangars, you have to deal with the frigid elements.
Right.
In HC, they had noxious, like fumes.
Oh, okay. I thought the whole zone was named Noxious.
No. Not that I was aware of, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's always been Halnir's Cave. But yeah, the noxious element is a thing you had to deal with back then.
And it is still there in small doses as well. If you stand on top of those crystals, you will get a green outline to your borders, like in the snow parts, and it will start damaging you through toxic poison.
Yeah, the remnants. I'm not sure why they turned it off, like I mentioned in one of our past podcasts.
Yeah.
If you guys go back, you'll catch it. But it's cool. I hope they would bring it back because it would add another element.
I agree.
Something else to grind
I agree. It'd be
for.
more fun to have it in there.
Get people accustomed to that early into your leveling, not so much halfway through.
Yeah, because you can go there at what, level 9 or 10 and do the entrance groups. And there's supposed to be some raid content down there. Isn't there like a raid section that hasn't materialized? There's
Maybe.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be the dragon.
Yeah.
Or whatever's holding him hostage. Maybe better.
Yeah, that could be really cool.
I
Whatever
would love
that
to
is.
rescue him and see him wreak havoc on those rats.
Or maybe you could choose a faction. There's so many factions in there already.
Yeah, who do you want to side with? Do you want to side with the Drawn, the Black Rose, the Unmortals, the Crypt Fiends? What do you want to do? That'd be pretty cool. That'd be really neat.
And Black Rose is supposed to have their own keep in Orc Valley, what we call Orc Valley right now.
True.
I guess, yeah. So we could be linked there. I kind of want to keep my Black Rose faction good because I'm thinking ahead. Like, if I want to go into Black Rose Keep, maybe I won't be killed on sight if I've got good Black Rose faction.
Yeah, maybe.
I ruined mine.
Hey, I accidentally
All in
did too, because I was grouping
You can build it up though, folks. If you ruined it, there's a chance for you to rebuild it.
Yes.
It just might be a lengthy process.
All in the name of experience. We just kill everything. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you
Gotta get
overlook-
them levels.
No prejudice. You're all equal.
Right. It's all about
XP
them levels
is
for me.
XP.
So, but
So,
with my-
gentlemen, today was patch day to be a slight fix and slight update to the recent Ash Breathers drop. And we got a lot of fixes today. As of recording this, the servers are not live yet, and we are kind of waiting to see what has been fixed, what are the changes actually do in practicality. But right off the get-go here, there's been a number of bug fixes that I think we're all pretty happy to see, some of these welcome changes. First one, right off the top list here, fixed an issue that was preventing acclamation glyphs from being looted off corpses. So there's definitely going to be fire glyphs in this place that are going to be usable. They are not purchasable from the NPC like the frost ones are, but according to this notes, we should be finding them. Lynx, I know that you had some instances where some of these bugs might have affected you. Do you remember an instance where you fixed multiple deaths that could happen in certain situations? Do you have any idea what that was talking about?
I'm pretty confident early on when I was exploring it on my own. There were certain mobs, even though I had full stealth gear equipped, my passive equipped, and I made sure the mob didn't have true sight. I think still some of them still saw through my stealth. I've had other people also agree with that early on. I don't know if that's been addressed since, but I hope it's been resolved with this patch, because there's been a mixture of it, and I'm very confident that mobs that I targeted, I checked their traits, they didn't have true sight. I'm familiar with the ones that do have it more often than not. Hopefully that was addressed, but yeah, it cost me a few.
Cost you a few deaths, huh?
Yeah.
The world changes here. There's not a ton, as you can see right here. They added some chests in, they added some gathering nodes in, and they seem to have finally added paladin trainers over towards King's Watch. So that's all welcome changes in that. This was, again, let's not get too bogged down in how big these changes are. They're coming and they're consistent. And the last patch was absolutely gigantic. So, I mean, I haven't even explored the majority of things that happened in the last patch. So, I'm really happy to see this. And the last bullet point here is they're adding gathering nodes to the Lakeshore region of Avendir's Pass. I think that means the Orc Valley, Orc Alley kind of area. I don't know. Is that what you guys?
Yeah, like where the cotton spawns, probably over there.
Yeah,
in that section over
farther
there.
Down.
Are there going to be different kinds of resources to be mined there, or do they? I don't know. We're going to have to find out.
Not sure.
More gathering nodes. Probably the same, but that's good to get more people over there.
Is the lake they're referencing that small little area just outside of HC, in between the area with those group spawned orcs and the little?
I think so.
What are those little like cannonballs stuck in the ground?
Oh yeah, near the ogres.
Where the ogre and
no idea.
Why are they guarding them?
I don't know. I always felt like they're because there's the guys outside of HC, those two NPCs.
Yeah.
I feel like they're kind of got I feel an odd tension between the ogre and those two guys.
Yeah.
And the ogres don't like those little spellcasters that walk around.
Oh, the wind spells.
That's it.
I hate those guys.
I wonder what their problem is.
Oh man, I've spent too long camping those for chaotic imbuement. Oh.
How many did you go through? Like 150 or something?
Oh, not quite that many, but it was many dozens. But you do what you got to do to be the best.
That's right.
That's how it is.
Got to put the time in if you want to be the best. That's it.
So maybe that region now will be populated with more resources that was just overlooked before.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and I think people would be more inclined to go out there and if they knew there was stuff to harvest. So that'll be good. Get people in a new area that maybe they weren't going to before.
Yep. And as you can see, the items, there's been a few changes on these. We won't go into too much of a detail on some of these item updates because we haven't really gotten to see any of the new fixes on these items yet, and we will be talking about them in a later video. I guess the most important one to probably point out is that they added a item to the loot tables of the War Chief and the Witch. For monks, they added shoulders and legs. So pretty excited to see what those are going to be because there's been not a lot in the way of shoulder or leg items for the monk that were really based on the new stat scaling system. And I know all the classes got a recent update and a recent change, and we're all still kind of trying to figure out and scrambling to figure out what our best pieces of gear are, how we should go about doing that. And they have also done another patch today as well on the class updates. They fixed some things, they added a few things in, they made a few tweaks here and there. And before I forget, everybody, we just recently launched our Patreon. So you go ahead and check that out anytime. We're going to have a lot of great content on there for you. Lots of outtakes, lots of bloopers, lots of times of Rake's dying in-game. And that will definitely be showcased quite a bit there. And some of the more raunchy content that we have in Discord that might be a little unsuitable for these types of videos. Kind of uncensored, if you will. So we'll be stacking that all the way up to the rafters on everything we can get onto the Patreon. Make sure you take that and look at that. And anything that we get off of that, we're gonna pour a lot of that back into the show so that we can keep making the show better and better every week for all of our viewers.
Yeah, and if you can donate just now to keep this going and make sure that we can still do the YouTube thing, we can still do other Patreon only content. It's very important because, I mean, the bottom line is to have this platform restreamed does cost money. And anything you guys can give. I don't know what the minimum is. I know I give $5 to another podcast Whatever you can contribute, it would be much appreciated. And we love doing this, and we want to bring it to you in the best way possible. Because let's face it, there are other podcasts that concern this game that it's kind of sketchy. The graphics aren't as good. We've got guys taking footage in game. We've got us commenting, playing the game on a full-time basis. We are playing this game from 8 to 10 hours a day. I mean, we are full in, and we want you full in too, if you can. You know, whatever it is, we'll take it.
We also appreciate your time just watching these videos, watching our shorts on the YouTube itself. Soon to be streaming. We will be on Twitch. We'll be sharing some time on Twitch. So
we'll be doing live events on Twitch, showing some of the more high-end content that we've been delving into inside the Ash Breathers Enclave, all kinds of stuff. And again, we're going to have stuff like that as well available on the Patreon. So don't be afraid to go check it out one day.
Yep. And exclusive stuff, maybe even interviews, certain things down the road.
Right. And we read all the comments, whether you like or dislike. We're still, we're fully invested in, bringing, the program to you. And, you're involved too. It's not just us sitting here pontificating about the game. We are players.
So moving on now to kind of the meat here of what they've changed in terms of Monk. Now, Monk had a little bit of a hard go in the last week in terms of damage, in terms of feigned death, in terms of a few things. Now, they mentioned in the previous bug fixes that they have fixed the feigned death bug, where when you would fall to the ground or when you would succeed even on feigned death, the mobs wouldn't stop attacking you. It made it very difficult to pull. As well as the damage being adjusted a little bit this time. I'm hoping that the Monk is in a little bit better of a position than it was. Them increasing the resonating strike to 15% health plus damage health, that's going to allow for a lot more solo. Increasing the chi spear damage, removing the cost on it, all these things are going to really help. The wheel kick and elbow proc damage increase, I'm hoping that is a lot of help, because from what I understand, the Monk is supposed to be very auto attack based as well as debuff utility pulling type thing. So that wheel kick and elbow strike damage is a big chunk that the Monks are doing. So I'm happy to see that they've done that, and honestly I can't wait to see how much they're doing once the servers come back up. Moving on, I know the Enchanter got a few changes as well. And now I play the Enchanter as well as the Monk. It's good to see that the spell scrolls that they've given us, some of the newer ones, are now going to be scribable. Wasn't a big deal because, things that need to change, things need to get updated. Sometimes there's a little change in the back end that has to get changed. But happy to see that. Really unfortunate to see that the slime's reduction size has been reduced. I think myself and everybody else liked seeing that.
Everybody loves the slime.
Everybody loved the slime.
Everybody loved
gigantic.
My wife wanted to get a toy.
Who complained about that? She was
so happy about the way your slime looked. She wanted screenshots with it. And let me tell you something, folks.
Wow.
I'm the real guy here. If some guy complained that the slime was too large, he needs to be put in the Looney Tune bin, because this is something fun. This is what we want. We want fun. And I don't understand. Anybody who's against fun, I'm sorry, I can't deal with you.
Now they're going to be reluctant to add new illusions because someone's going to complain. Oh, this guy takes up too much of my screen, and I can't line of sight my healer. I can't see the right mob. It's distracted. It's too colorful. It's too animated. Come on.
I agree. I mean,
stick in the mud. That's your illusion. Stick in the mud.
Yeah. Big Chief No Fun of the I Don't Wanna tribe. That's what that person is. I mean, you've got to enjoy yourself. And listen, it's a small thing, but hey, everybody was excited. I know Rake has the slime, and he was in town in Demuth, and people were like, I want to take a picture, screenshot.
Yeah.
He scared us with it.
Yeah.
He did.
Right. And also, everybody wanted to make an Enchanter after that. Right? Everybody was like, I got to make an Enchanter. I want the slime. Then they realized that
it's fun. Let's fun. Let people have fun. Harmless fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sorry about my rant there.
Oh no, very well.
I had to get it out. I had to get it out.
So from there, there were a number of changes that you guys can all check out on these patch notes, but kind of moving forward, we have had a lot of time now to investigate the Ash Breathers content. We have delved pretty deep into the Enclave, found some rather interesting stuff into there, found some big stone doors to open. We have made more progress on other things, but as you can see here in this footage here, we finally, for the first time, were able to summon and defeat a Banshee. And as you can see, this item of being traded, this burning lock of hair, a lock of hair is looted from one of the Cinder Wolves, and then you have to dip it in this bowl here, and after 9 p.m. in game time, it will allow you to click this, and you can see this ping here. A horrifying wailing scream pierces the air, and bam, there is a Banshee now attacking us. And this was a pretty hard fight. I think we were all there for this one. And this fear, bam, didn't expect that one. This was a difficult
10
fight,
seconds.
to say the least.
It's a long time to be feared.
It was. Wasn't this like a 5-8 second
This
fear or
seemed
something?
like an eternity.
I think it was 10 seconds total. Dangerous place too, but we
I'm
were
barely able to get my debuffs off.
we cleared it.
Yes.
Always cleared of all trash. No question.
Yes. There's Elwood.
Hey,
Look at
Hey,
that.
look at him stabbing.
That non-active rogue.
Immune to stun, as you can notice. Yeah, the non-active rogue. So we got our active rogue here on the right and our non-active rogue on the left.
Oh,
I embraced
what did
it.
he
I
drop?
embraced it.
look at that.
What dropped? A writhing stud. Pretty good item. Mainly kind of geared around a tank because it's got 45 dodge rating on it, which is the highest I've ever seen from a secondary stat like that.
I like the flavor text on that too. A lot of the pieces that are dropping on here, there's a lot of lore.
Lots of
little
lore. The
hints,
lore is some of our
little clues.
favorite part of all this. I love seeing these perception pings that are popping up for us all the
Yeah,
time.
that's cool.
There, right now.
Giving us, just giving us
Horrifying,
clues, giving us things. And I don't know if we talked about it in the last podcast, but the pillars, these small outlook things, these little small towers that are ladders, you can climb up them near the trenches, and at the top of all of them gives you a perception ping. And there's a story here to be pieced together where they talk about these trenches were originally built to defend against the gods, but are now just covered in ash. And it's a whole deep, rich lore history that we are all really, really excited to continue to uncover. It's one of the cooler parts of the game for us, is just forging ahead, finding, discovering, and doing this all together as a friend group, as a guild.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you guys agree that that's some of the funnest part about this?
Oh yeah.
I don't even like it when people share information from when they read on Discord or whatever. I like just finding it out by ourselves without any outside. Now, you're dipping, the hair is being put into what here? What is this
This
exactly?
bowl. See this
It's like a rune. It's got runes around it, right?
Yeah, it's a bowl of blood and magma, maybe.
Oh.
Not really certain.
There is embers coming out of there, yeah.
The reason they traded me the hair there in this is because it didn't seem to work for them. However, it might have been because it was 9 p.m. game time when I clicked it when it worked, or it was because it needed to be double clicked. We haven't really confirmed what caused it, but that is how you spawn this rare named here. As you see, again, bam,
It was hour 21, I believe. Kindane
precisely,
Yeah.
hour 21.
And this braided hair, or what was it? Burnt hair? What was it?
Yeah, burned hair.
Burned hair. It dropped off, we think, a Cinderfolk or one of the mobs,
I
but
thought it was a wolf.
might have been a wolf too. I mean, I don't remember. I remember when we got it and we kind of like thought, hey, this is just something like a general thing. But then when you look closely, it was labeled as a catalyst.
Yes.
And that was something new. But we've killed a lot of mobs outside of the trenches, and we have not gotten have gotten another. So we only have
just
one.
one.
I would love to get some more and find out what the loot table is of this.
Yeah. Definitely want to see more of that type of stuff. And I can only speculate that there are many more types of names and sequences and perception pings of things that we have to just figure out how to do. Unlike the previous content, this is much more dynamic. This is much more requiring of investigation and putting your thinking cap on and saying, what is the game trying to get out of me here? What am I supposed to give back? Like, this is a lot harder to kind of figure out, especially forging this path and being kind of pioneers in this whole sense.
Right. I mean, everybody has to be on point. I mean, you have to be very cohesive as a unit when you do this. And it's great to hear everybody's thoughts on what possibly might be going on in Ash Breathers. There's certainly some kind of caste system. We've already done some.
Yeah.
One of our members has progressed in the quest. I heard it's going to be a long, epic quest line, but it's maybe 5 parts in on the main quest, it seems. But it's been great so far.
Right. And we're all having a great time with this whole Ash Breathers thing, and the content is very difficult, but it makes us happy because we're not steamrolling it. We're not rolling in here just killing the whole dungeon in one night and saying, well, what else? What's next, guys? I mean, this is going to keep us busy probably well into when Black Rose Keep comes out, and I'm excited for that too. And hopefully we can see all of this before that even comes out, so that we can hit that hard as well.
Right. And right now, our guild, Dizak Imperials, is really trying to get our lower levels up to the level to do this content. So maybe we can transition to talk about when you're first starting out, maybe the things you need to see, the things you need to really experience, and maybe some do's and don'ts. So when you guys start a character, let me ask you this. Do you really gravitate towards a place where you start your character? Because there's different races start at different starting points on the map. Maybe you guys could talk about perhaps the ogre or the dark mirror, or the halfling.
Why don't you guys comment below and tell us anything you'd like to see for starting a character, what's the best race, how to earn some cash, how to get money for your scrolls, how to get anything that you want to, anything you might have a question on. Just throw a comment out there, like, subscribe, and we'll try to address your needs. And don't forget, we've got a lot of shorts available as well now that are directing people on how to get valuable items, how to find the crossroads, how to get yourself out of the Barrow Dark, all kinds of things that every newbie and advanced player would probably find really interesting. So give those a look anytime you have a question about what to look for.
Quick shout out to Balinor for doing that for us. We really appreciate you.
Yes.
Your time, your efforts.
Producer.
He's behind the scenes, but he's also behind all of us.
Yes.
That's right.
Balinor, the producer. There he is. Look at him.
Look at that man.
There he is.
Yep. It's my pleasure.
Yes.
Be sure to comment and tell me what else you want to see.
Thank you. Thank you, Balinor. Thank you, Lynx. Thank you, Eddie. And also, as always, thank you, VR. We'll see
Thanks,
you.
VR.
Thank you. We're going to go play the game now.